Are all of you able to see my screen? Hi, Shekhar. Okay, yes. Thank you. Okay, great. So we will just start from continue from the place like we left in the last class in the PPT. But like there was one thing we were left with the introduction of some of the people. If they have a good internet connection today, then we will go with their introduction, a brief introduction like which I had yesterday. So we were left with Vatsal, Yash, and Jyoti. Uh, yeah, and I think we had the introduction for Manish, correct? Manish. Yes. So we will go in a sequence. First, we'll start with the introduction of Vatsal, then Yash, and then Jyoti, and then we'll start with the session. Vatsal, you can just unmute your mic and you can start with the introduction, like on the 3 points only. What is your education qualify, like the latest education which you had, any coding experience, any professional experience? Only three things. Yes, Vatsal.
Oh, hi, sir. What's on the side? I live in Delhi and currently working with Amazon as a resolution specialist. Actually, I have no coding background, but in the past months, I've been working on R and SQL, not hardcore coding, but yes, at least started to, code a little. So maybe on the first step, not a proper coder as of now. And when it comes to past experiences, I have no background in coding, so I've just started this coding path in my career right now. So that's it.
Okay. Great, Vatsal. Thank you. Like it will help me out. Yeah, Yash, we can start with your introduction now. Yash, done now. Yash, am I audible to you? Okay. So you can unmute your mic, Yash, and my suggestion. Okay. Thanks for the very crisp introduction. Uh, but again, no issue. So thank you for the introduction, Yash. Jyoti, can we start with your introduction? Okay. No issue, Yash. Uh, but thank you for the cooperation. Jyoti, can we start with the introduction if I'm audible to you? Jyoti Tripathi. Okay, then you can write in a small brief introduction like Yash, and that will be quite helpful so that I can get a intro about you. No, Jyoti, you are not audible. So I would request one thing, like for the people who are having some issue with the mic, uh, I think like I got some voice. So those who are having some issue with the mic, what they can do is they can join in using the phone, and from there I think it might like the mic might work for you if you have some issue with the system mic. Yeah. Jyoti, you are not audible at present too. Uh, you can just write in your brief introduction about the coding experience. That is the main thing which I want to get to know. Because what I have an understanding from this particular group is that most of the people have started their coding experience now when very few have some coding experience that in Java and R. So Java is quite similar to Python, but R is quite different because Python is much of a OOPS language. Okay, so we'll just start with the class. Jyoti, you can just write me in the chat window and can share the experience like when you're comfortable. Uh, so we'll start with our slide, which we started yesterday. Data science overview. Yeah. Uh, I think like we can just go first on the pages which we covered. So this was the outline or the agenda of the particular PPT. What are the steps we will be covering this PPT? And what is data science? This was a definition, that is the data science is the science where user uh, which uses computer science, statistics, and machine learning, visualization, and the human computer interaction to collect, clean, integrate, analyze, visualize, interact with data to create data product. So this is much of a comprehensive definition covering all the points. I would say like there is one point like much of a so human computer interaction is I can say like you can say much of make in the coding perspective or in the domain knowledge too. So domain knowledge also plays a huge important role, that is the business angle of the analytics. So if you don't have any business angle to a analysis, then it is not useful altogether. And if you have only business angle and not a technical angle, then also it is not useful. So to get a holistic or to get a winning situation, both work collaborative. There should be a collaboration between the business and the technical angles. uh, so the goal of data science is a method for transforming business data and using various approaches, and it helps the organization in increasing their revenue, reducing the cost, and improving the customer experience too. So customer experience can be improved using uh, like performing such a sentiment analysis, how the customers are feeling, what are their main concerns, or regarding a ticket being raised, and automating it using machine learning approaches to provide a fast resolution for the same. And these are the fields which combine together to form data science, that is scientific method, mathematics, statistics, advanced computing, visualization, hacker mind, and that is a domain expertise. That is also a main thing, and data engineering. So like regarding the uh, you can say much of a collaboration between the technical and the domain. So it varies with the year of experience. So if you are a fresher, like that time you should have 80% of the technical knowledge, that is what are the various algorithms, machine learning, you should know coding, you should know everything. So 80% is the technical, 80 to 90% is the technical knowledge, and 10% is a domain knowledge. Okay, like because you will be joining as an analyst altogether, so you will be more focusing on building the codes, and you will be working as a team under a manager altogether. The main responsibility of the manager is to handle the client and the domain expertise. So you will be learning about the domain during that you can say that exercise altogether. So with ink and like so as a fresher with 0 or 1 year of experience, you should have 80% of technical knowledge, 80 to 90% that is coding and machine learning algorithms and everything, like how to change them, how to implementation and all. uh, and domain knowledge is 10 to 20%, like because you are much of a fresher to the industry, so you might not know how a particular his domain work. So by domains, I mean the banking sector, the healthcare sector, the FMCGs or CPGs, so like it is CPGs, consumer packed goods or fast consumer moving goods like Pepsi, or the you can say the biscuits industry or the chocolates. These comes under the FMCG or the CPG domain. The other one, insurance is one of those, logistic is, so these are the various domains. So you will get expertise when you get into these industries, but of course, like as requested in the previous class, I request you to please read them out, start studying how the business work. Actually they will help you a lot in your interviews, like if you give a interview in Amex or in a banking client, banking industry, so they might ask you the various questions related to the banking operations. That is one. So fresher, it is 80% technical, 20% domain. Yeah, 82%, 90% technical, and 10 to 20% domain. With increase in experience, like if you are having experience of 6 years, then it becomes an equal thing. Like 5 to 6 years, it should be 50-50. 50% domain knowledge, 50% technical, because you will be leading a team at that time of 1 to analyst or 3 analysts, depending upon the organization. And you will be doing the coding from your end too. So the final, you can say you will be helping the team, and if they fail somewhere, then you will be helping them in the coding part too. But when you have experience of 7 to 8 years, so you can say 10 years, that time your domain expertise comes out to be 80%, like, and 20% is your technical knowledge, that you should know like technical mainly is with the coding part, whether you will be doing coding or not, or like understanding of the various machine learning algorithm. So with 10 years of experience, actually the main role or main objective for you is that you should know the business, like you should know the domain of the client, the how their business work, and how machine learning can help them in improving their revenue and reducing their cost and optimization of their complete process. So that is the main goal. With regarding the technical thing, if you are having a year experience of 10 to 12 10, like 9 to 10 or 11 years, you should know what are the various machine learning technique, the basic, that is classification, regression, that we will cover up during the session. So the basic of you should know, and you should know, okay, which algorithms or which approaches will work on it as compared to the overall level. But that is more of a personal interest. So if you want to do coding, you can do the same. But your main role will be providing the architectural solution to the client. You should know about the complete architecture solution, how the data will be put in, how the output will be there, how the internal cycle or the internal functionality will happen. And you will be leading a team altogether. Like at 10 years of experience, you will be much of a director at a analytics company or in a organization. So do anyone of you have any doubt on these, any like regarding the understanding of the technical and one? Yes, Shaker. So with more experience, more domain knowledge is required. Because main thing is initially like you are more with the technical, but as you increase with time, as you grow in your career with time, you will be choosing a single domain to go to. Okay, so thank you. Like you don't have any uh, question. That is great. Yeah. So the freshers should have like good knowledge of coding and the basics. Like, and that also depends upon. So if there are like there are some candidates who do a good amount of experience, like in the industry, I can say 8 to 10 years or 12 years, but that is not domain specific. Correct, like that is not from the analytics domain itself. So I would say when they will be like switching their domain to analytics one, that is what is, they can do that one. But in that case, you need to show yourself as a uh, like that is more dependent upon like how much you can justify your roles toward the analytics field. That is more in the resume building classes which we'll have for you. That how we'll be justifying your current experience to the machine learning. Like there is a story or a linking which you need to build up between your current profile to the machine learning one. Yeah. So moving to the next slide. So data science, why all the excitement, like why it is huge in demand? Because I would say the data science has shown some practical result in the industry or in the world. The most like the most best example I can say the self-driving cars, which does not require a driver or a operator to go from one location to the other, and it works completely using the AI, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is, I can say, a composition of machine learning, deep learning, NLP, and various techniques altogether, recommendation system. So when we so normally the people have a question that okay, so actually like I'll be covering all the question which I do, like which are quite basic, like which normally the candidates do ask me uh, during, which the candidates do ask me during, you can say, the sessions, intro sessions and all. So I will covering those points. If you have some different question, then please ask me. So if I talk about the self-driving cars, so they are actually the most impactful thing in the industry, in the market, that has like strongly hold the point for analytics or the AI, artificial intelligence. So normally people do ask the difference, okay, what is the difference between machine learning, deep learning, and artificial intelligence? I would say uh, artificial intelligence is a very holistic term being used, or you can say much of a vague term uh, in use nowadays. So actually when you sell a machine learning, deep learning, or NLP solution to the client, the industry name it as a AI. Yeah, uh, correct, Shikhar. So these are the, of course, industry future. But main thing is key. So the main thing is कि whenever your client pitch in a machine learning or deep learning or NLP solution to the clients, then they reframe it as a artificial intelligence solution. So AI comprises of your machine learning, deep learning, or NLP, and some other techniques too, like web scripting and all. But that too in an automation way. Yeah. So moving to the other use cases, the other one is a chatbot. As I explained yesterday, chatbots are the softwares or the artificial intelligence solutions which uses NLP and machine learning at the back end and do provide the solution to the clients or customers without any human need or without any human assistance. And they help the organization in increasing their uh, resolution time. They help the organization in reducing the resolution time. For example, like it is much of a machine which is working at the back end, so like they does not get tired up. So if like there was a research altogether with humans being working, the resolution time of a particular organization was 3 to 4 days, but with the system, the chatbots working at the back end, the resolution time was significantly reduced to 1 or 2 days. And normally like people were preferring more of a chatbots as compared to the client calls, or you can say not client calls, I can say the customer support executive calls. That is normally the trend which has gone. Um and I would request one thing. So if any one of you have any question, please unmute your mic and then you can please let me know. Because having a collaboration between the chat window and the pipt is something like which I think is not too interactive. So if any one of you have any question, then please unmute your mic and you can ask me the question. So that will be a very interactive one, and you can just I can help you in understanding it in a more better way. The next one is a Facebook face recognition. This one is the point which I covered yesterday too. Um, like earlier, you used to tell the Facebook that okay, this is my friend and the name of this friend is this. But nowadays, Facebook tells you that okay, like this is your friend, the name of your friend is this. So how do they do it? So actually, it is normally the deep learning algorithms working at the back end. In deep learning, there is an algorithm known as convolutional neural network which the Facebook organization use. And actually your face is much of a matrix of, like if I say the image size is 1000 by 800 pixels, or you can say pixels, then I can say it is equivalent to a matrix of 1000 rows and 800 columns. Correct. And each cell in that matrix will have it will have four values. The four values are BGR, that is blue color, green color, red color, and the alpha. Whereas blue, green, red are the you can say the amount of like intensity of these three colors, as the three colors combined to form any color. uh, so these three are the core colors, and the fourth one is alpha, which denotes the transparency factor. So this is much of a supervised machine learning algorithm problem which Facebook uses, and sometimes whenever like Facebook do tell you the name of your friend, they do ask sometimes that whether the prediction is correct or yes or correct or not. And if you say it is correct, then they basically reinforce the weights over it. And when you say no, then actually they ask you what is the name, actual name, and then they actually that is more for the improving the training data. You would have heard about the training data or pre-training the model. So that is how they work. The other so like the other so these three other practical use cases of deep learning or machine learning or AI in the current industry. The next one is health prediction. So if you do remember, so this is one of our old Ebola, you can say Ebola virus spread. But if you remember, like recently when we had, there was a start of the COVID all across the world, Kaggle is one of the platforms. So if you would have heard about Kaggle, Kaggle is a platform where all the data scientists combine, and they come together to solve a problem. Like there are multiple competitions going on, and they are having huge prices over them. So Kaggle also did launch a problem for you can say a problem for predicting the medicine of COVID-19. So they provided huge amount of files, and there was a you can say a problem statement on Kaggle to help find the vaccine for COVID-19. So artificial intelligence is used everywhere. Like they will provide you the training data set and everything, and you will be using that data to help the society or help the organizations uh, make vaccine for, you can say, for the uh, COVID-19 and all. So actually, your machine learning is also used highly used in creating medicines. Like they help in so with various symptoms, there are various chemicals and various bonds required. So for domain specific, you prepare the data accordingly, so that you are able to help, or you are able to, you can say, create a particular medicine for that requirement. Now nowadays your machine learning or AI is highly used in the election too. In elections, like it is highly used. Like targeted audience is one of the main thing, that okay, which audience you want to target. Like that is a young generation or the older one, and that is basically you derive from the your consumer characteristics. Like when you search something over the net, uh, that time, can you just hold us? Yeah. So during the elections, to in the elections, like it is quite useful to identify which party is going to win, and so they normally do the prediction too, like based on the past behavior, which party is going to win, and on the recent current event. So people do make the machine learning models to identify, okay, which party is going to win, or I can say, using the tweets or the social media information, we can use the text analytics, that is NLP, natural language processing, to identify, okay, which particular party is having a good sentiment, or which leader is having a good sentiment as compared to the other leaders. And that actually help, that is basically a proxy of the winning party, that which party is going to win, because a party is which is having good sentiment. Good sentiment means, sentiment analysis means whether the person is happy or not. So good sentiment means person is happy, and bad means like person is not happy with the operations, and all. Neutral mean okay, he's okay, okay, that okay, the things are good, this is much of a, yet the things are average, so it is a neutral sentiment. If I say that things are very good and they're helping me a lot, it is good sentiment, like positive sentiment, I can say. And a negative example of negative is, this party is the worst party in the world and they don't do anything, they just make the people fight with each other. So there is a data everywhere. So everywhere there is data, you can see that over Facebook, Twitter, there are lack of customer, like lack of users or citizens who, I can say, express their feelings, and using that you can analyze, okay, which part is going to win. That is how this artificial intelligence help the, you can say, parties altogether, the clients, identify which part is going to win, and then they can make the strategy accordingly to target the specific audience. So this is the election of 2012, of like between the Obama and the Romney, and that is how like Obama was able to predict the like campaigns accordingly. So that allowed Obama campaign not only to alter the very nature of the electorate, but making it younger and less white. So machine learning is used to like help make the campaigns, as I discussed now. I discussed in the few points before, and this is how it works. Like uh, there's the first US chief data scientist of the White House is DJ Patel, who was made in Feb 18 2015. Yeah. Sponsored search or the recommendation engine are also the example of, you can say, artificial intelligence. Whenever you buy something from Amazon, or mainly it is with Amazon or Flipkart, you get a recommendation, okay, you should also buy this one along with this. So that are actually artificial intelligence working at the back end, that okay, which product is having the most proximity of being sold with the other product, based on your past experience, your past shopping characteristics, based on your personal characteristics, that is age, if they get that information, what is your age group, and uh, what is your locality like, and what is your past buying behavior. So they provide you the recommendation, some much of a customized of personal recommendation, and that is what Netflix also uses. They also provide you the personal recommendation. They do have a personal recommendation engine, uh, and that is at a personal level, that okay, which movies you might like on the basis of your past watching experience or behavior. So everyone uses your data, the past data, or data which expresses your you can say personality, to pitch you something. To pitch means to sell you something. All these companies work on this line altogether. That is to make your life easier on the basis of your behavior, your personal data. That is why there's a huge you can say outcry for the privacy of the data and all. The sponsored product, yeah, these are the sponsored product search which you get on the basis of your past searches and all. So now normally like this is much of a, you can say, a pie chart of the most frequently searched words, like a top 20 keyword categories, that is percentage corresponding to the number of keywords in the top 10,000 keyword that are belong to the category. So in the loans, these are the like word which are highly searched. Insurance is searched like 54% times. Mortgage, attorney. So these were specific to the banking data altogether. If I talk about the other few examples of artificial intelligence, uh, or I can say this is the one that is learning to power slide. This is much of a Stanford University autonomous vehicle. Yeah. Yeah, Shekhar, it is done area wise. Okay, like which domain? Like actually each. So as I told you, like each organization do have their targeted audience. Okay, like for example, the targeted audience for Johnson Johnson would be the kids sector. They would not focus on the older people. They would be more interested in identifying, okay, how many kids, or you can say the small age group people are there in a particular geography, and what are their characteristics, what is their weight and all, so that they can similarly they can pitch those products like they on the basis of the characteristics what they get. This is how it works. So each company do have the targeted audience. Like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, they do target the young audience. Whereas if what I have understanding, these they say Limca do target somewhat of a older age group, because those people are quite comfortable drinking a Limca as compared to drinking a Pepsi. Whereas the younger generation do drink Pepsi more as compared to the other brands. Uh, that is how like each company do identify the target audience using machine learning AI. Okay, who are the targeted audience and who can give them more revenue. So that is selling. So the AI tells the companies to sell the right thing or right product to right people, and to make a perfect match altogether. The other examples of uh, artificial intelligence is learning ground from obstacles. Okay, like that is uh, making a margin out of it, or you can say that is classification, that is classifying. Okay, this much of a segmentation too. That is data science applications are, you can say, the transactional data, a transactional database, that is recommendation system. Netflix, fraud detection is one of the other application for the same wireless sensor data. So actually, have if you ever heard about IoT, that is Internet of Things. So nowadays, your what they're doing is they're connecting your devices also with like connecting your TV with Alexa or something with Alexa and all. So that is more of a IoT thing, like your Alexa controls each and everything of your house. That is Internet over Things. Everything is connected to internet, and you can own the device anytime whenever you require. Or like while moving from the office, you can switch on your AC of the house, so that the room is cooler as compared to the previous one. Nowadays the products also do come with somewhat of an intelligence sensors that okay, the thing that okay, in order to save the electricity and all day to day, that is how many people are sitting in the room, so what should be the temperature. So it is more of a things are moving towards
Uh,
the artificial intelligence part, a huge
Sorry for
like
interrupting, sir.
the system are
Sorry for
and
interrupting, sir. What's
hello.
this? Sorry for interrupting, sir. Sir, थोड़ा can you please go a little slow? As in बहुत ज़्यादा वो हो रहा है ना, तो समझ नहीं आ रहा. थोड़ा सा आप
Okay, okay, okay.
थोड़ा सा पेस स्लो कर सकते हैं आप, क्योंकि वो बहुत ज़्यादा जल्दी एकदम से इतना मच वो जाए जा रहा है, तो समझ नहीं आ
Okay,
रहा. थोड़ा
okay.
मिक्स अप. थैंक यू.
Sure, Vatsala. Thank you. That is more of a feedback which I require from you here. So, of course, the pace
Right.
is faster, so I will just make it slower. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh, if you want any of the other previous slide to be covered again, I can cover them too.
नो 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 सर, दैट्स फाइन। वो अभी एकदम से थोड़ा ज्यादा हो गया, एकदम से तेज हो गया ना, तो समझ आना बंद हो गया, मतलब रिलेट नहीं कर पा रहे, तो बस थोड़ा सा पेस आप स्लो कर
Okay.
दीजिए, बाकी सब। थैंक यू।
Okay, welcome, Vatsal. So I'll just cover this slide again. So see so actually what I'm doing is I'm just the main objective of this slide is to tell you the usage of artificial intelligence in the real domain in the current industry, how the things are changing, how the artificial intelligence is taking a huge leap in the industry. So if I talk about like you would have heard about Sophia too. So do anyone of you know about Sophia? Yeah, anyone, like they can unmute them, I can speak about. Yes, Sophia. College वाली नहीं ना कोई actress है. First of all, to make you clear. Okay, no idea, Manish. Anyone? So Sophia is the first robotic citizen of Saudi Arabia, and actually it is yeah. So it is a robotic, the first robotic citizen of like Dubai and Saudi Arabia. They provide the citizenship to her, and it is completely based on AI. Like you can interact with them. So you can just go to YouTube and you can search its videos, like how they interact with how she interact with human, and that is completely artificial intelligence based, being trained on the various data. So it is so I can say that is more of a modified or upgraded version of Alexa. Alexa is quite specific to a single device, helping you out with songs and all. But Sophia is a holistic approach or a holistic package altogether, which you can say it is more of robot. So it do talk about each and every domain. You can like just go through the interviews. That is quite interesting one, and that is the actually one of the another practical applications. So like the companies are moving toward these things so that to make the life of human easier, they are making robots with artificial intelligence. But that is, of course, there comes some other fears with this development, that okay, will this be a boom or a, what we say, a wrong decision by the humans altogether moving in this approach? No, they haven't built it up, yeah, but that is built by scientists altogether. But that those things are being funded by the sheikhs. Yeah. So I was talking about the transactional data. So these are the other data sources. That is a recommendation system on Netflix based on your past behavior, the things which you watch, that is the movies which you watch, the series which you watch. They will provide you the recommendation. With fraud detection comes like whenever you make a credit card. So like each industry do have a fraud detection system. The banking domain uses them a lot. Uh, Whenever you make a fraud, like, so what do you mean by fraud transaction? Fraud transactions are the transactions which are not done by you. Correct. So I would say like normally you use your credit card with a, like you normally you swipe your credit card monthly at 10,000 rupees and all. That is your normally the credit bill which you get. But like if sometimes and like you normally swipe in Delhi, correct, and you normally swipe the monthly bill is approx 10,000. But if on a single day, if your credit card is being swiped, you can say out of Delhi in Bangalore or out of India, if it is being used and the amount is like in lakhs or like to the maximum limit, like normally it is being swiped at 10,000, but then it is swiped at 3 lakh rupees, and that too out of your geographical location. So normally when you use Google Pay, that is also much of a fraud detection system altogether, that they do keep a record of your locations from where you normally use the Google Pay or you can swipe your cards. But whenever they get a transaction, the banks get a transaction which is out of your current location, like out of India or from another state altogether, and that was a huge one. Then normally what they do, they block the transaction, and you might get a message or a call from the bank immediately that this card is being used, is this card being used by you with this amount of time, transaction amount and everything. So that is how the fraud detection work system works. So normally the humans does not so like the people, they are not people sitting at the back end and seeing each transaction, but those are the machines with some predefined rules or some training data, that okay, if this thing happen, then they normally alert it to the, you can say, the main security managers or the security personals, and then they connect with you that okay, is this transaction done by you, or is this is a fraud one. That is how the things happen. The wireless sensor data, I can say this one, the smart homes with the real-time monitoring. So Internet of Things. So so you would have heard this about term of Internet of Things. Basically, Internet of Things is connecting your each and everything with internet, your home appliances with the internet, like connecting the you might so normally you use Alexa. It is being configured with devices, multiple devices, so that is a part of IoT now. Some companies, like much of a, you can say, I think some automobile companies also do integrate their, you can say, their cars, their automobile using your mobile app, and then you can operate the complete device using you can operate the complete car using your mobile phone, and the data is sent over the internet, and then it reaches to the car, and you can perform all those operations. So that is much of a IoT, Internet of Things. Those are some of the sensor data. Regarding the sensor data, so like these are more of IoT thing. People are using artificial intelligence. The companies are using artificial intelligence in these to uh, prevent any maintenance costs and all. For example, like that is another project which I also worked upon. So the thermal power plants, if you see, like they normally how thermal power plant work, they burn the coal, and then the heat generated is used to, you can say, heat up the water and convert into steam, and the steam is then, you can say, pumped over the turbines, and then they rotate. Correct. So there are sensors everywhere in a thermal power plant, that what is the temperature of the boiler, and what is the chemical composition, how many fans are working, what is the turbine speed, and everything. So there are huge amount of sensors being installed, and you get a huge amount of sensor data from there. So nowadays the main target of the power industry is, because normally what the power industry do, they do keep two turbines, like they do keep two system at a time. One is in operational state. Whenever like there is a maintenance associated with the first system, the second system do work in parallel. So they don't use both the system at a single end. Like if there is a northern grid failure or any other grid failure, the second system do work there. So companies are working in a direction so that they will be able to identify the failure in advance using the sensor data. For example, so see, main thing is how machine learning work. Actually, machine learning, I can say, works on the patterns of the data. For example, and it is quite similar to how we learn. uh, if I ask someone, how do you identify whether a person is having diabetes or not, basically they will say it is by the sugar level and all. Correct, that the sugar level is high, the person would be having diabetes. If the person is not a doctor too, then also he will be able to tell me the answer for this, because that is what we have experienced in our society, like with the reports that okay, the sugar level was high, the person is having a diabetes and all, and the various other parameters. So similarly is, because it is based on your experience, the data which you have in your mind. The same way is how, you can say, the machine works. You provide huge amount of data, the machines identify the patterns among them, the patterns among the data. Similarly, when there is a failure anywhere, a functional failure in, you can say, any of the devices, any of the automobiles, and there is a combination of various activities going on simultaneously. Correct. Similarly is with the thermal power plant. Okay, that for example, if your fan stop working, correct, then the temperature of the boilers will increase significantly. Then that is a pattern actually that will say that the system is going to fail. Correct. So with a high increase in temperature, along with, you can say, a decrease in other parts, you can say like the turbine speed, or you can say the cooling system fails, then the temperature will rise up. So all things work in a combination. There is a pattern associated with each everything, every failure, every success. Similar is the that, and that is what the machine learning capture. They capture the patterns. That is okay, what pattern leads to a failure. Whenever that pattern is met, they raise an alarm. They raise an alarm to the organizer or the system, you can say, head, that okay, this system is going to fail because these are the things, and they will just shut down the system before any more further damage happens. That is how the Internet of Things, or these, you can say, IoT is taking place, how it is helping the organization in reducing their cost. The next is the text data or the social media data. So we normally get the product reviews, and customer satisfaction, that is Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, e-discovery and all. So if I talk about this, normally like what happens is that like if you are the CEO of, you can say, any television brand like Samsung, if you're the CEO of Samsung, and if you want to understand, okay, what is my feedback for my TV series or my, you can say, Note series, Note, Samsung Note series, what is the feedback for the same? So from where you will collect the data? Anyone of you, like, how you will do that one? Like, from where you can collect the data?
Hi, Kuldeep sir.
Yeah, hi, Shikhar.
Yeah, I think the data will be extracted from the users only. That the
Correct.
place from
See,
where the users
hmm,
have bought the CPS.
correct. And main thing is, see, for example, like there is a concept of web scraping. I will cover that one. Normally, if you are the CEO of, you can say, Samsung, and you want to analyze how is the feedback of your Samsung Note 9 mobile series, I can say Samsung Note mobile series or Samsung S. That is basically the other series or the fold. So to collect data, if you see from where does the data comes from, the data is mostly on the e-commerce platforms. Normally, like whenever you visit a store, you don't write the feedback there, but normally before buying something, you of course see the e-commerce platforms such as Amazon, Flipkart, how the people have given the reviews. So what do these big companies do? They fetch the data from the e-commerce platforms, and they do the sentiment analysis or the review analysis from there. But there is one thing, e-commerce companies does not provide or sell the data. uh, like they don't have provide any API altogether. So what normally the companies do, they do web scraping. Web scraping is so do anyone of you have any understanding about web scraping? What do you mean by web scraping? Anyone, you can write in the chat window, or you can unmute your mic and let me know. Have you heard about web scraping? What do you mean by web scraping? Okay, so actually, web scraping is a technique by which you scrap the data from the website. Correct. Like you, like this can be done in Python. So we do use various libraries such as URL Beautiful Soup. So you connect your Python script to a particular website, and then you scrap all the data present on that website. That is, all the data visible there will be transferred to your system. That will be collected. Yeah, that will be collected from the website, and that is basically for which you make codes. And uh, normally, like the other option is you just go to the e-commerce website, copy paste, you put a person there and he will copy paste the comments to a Excel file, and then he will perform analysis over it. But in order to expedite the process, we use web scraping. That is, connect to a particular website, our Python script, and the Python script will fetch all the data from there. That is a part of web scraping, and that is a different technique for data collection altogether. Normally, the companies does not, many of the companies does not support them out. Like if you try doing a web scraping, a simple web scraping on Amazon, they will block you. Correct. Can anyone of you tell me, like, why normally these companies block you, the Paytm, when you will try a simple scrapping without any bypass of the cyber security, like without any bypassing of the security? If you directly use them, you will get a option that, okay, this operation is not allowed. Why these e-commerce company stop you from fetching the data? You namely is you can see the data on the website, you can read them. uh, No,
Will
that
due
is
to the
not a
privacy of the
confidential.
users.
Uh, you can say, but that is actually not confidential, because whenever you want to buy a new phone, you go to Amazon.com and you read the reviews there. That reviews are available to you too. Correct. You can read them out. So privacy is not involved there, because you can simply copy paste them. They will allow that thing. That does not stop you from doing that, but they will not allow your Python script to connect to their server to fetch that visible data only. Why? Anyone? So हमारे कंप्यूटर साइंस वाले आईटी वाले किधर गए? Aman was the one. The other one was, I think, yeah, Manish. I think Manish you were there. Yeah. So who are the beta computer science or the IT one? Aman Malik is one. Can you just write in the chat window? Yes, yes, yes. This question will go to them. What the amazing do? Okay, yeah, Aman, I know about you. The rest of the people, no, Shekhar. So normally, the Amazon people do have their different analytics. See, like, you are correct that they also do this analytics for the client, but that data is quite visible to you. You can copy paste, but that they will not stop you. But web scraping is connecting to their like front look server, not their backend server, not their SQL tables, but what is visible on the website. That you can fetch that information. Okay, the short answer for this is DOS. Aman, DOS से कुछ याद आ रहा है? ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में था DOS error.
नहीं सर.
Okay, so DOS is basically denial of service error. So actually वो denial of service इसलिए करता है because if you see the e-commerce industry, how they earn the money. So that is how faster they provide you the service. For example, if you see अगर main चीज क्या है कि देखो normally like for example when you so basically जब आप web scraping करते हो when you connect to the particular website, when you scrap their data, तो आप basically उनके server पे hit कर रहे हो, correct? And normally web scraping की speed इतनी होती है कि आप एक time पे 60 to 70 web pages को एक time पे scrap कर सकते हो. Like in a minute you scrap 60 to 70 web pages. मतलब जैसे एक पेज पे अगर 100 reviews है, तो आप एक मिनट के अंदर उनके 6000 reviews को अपने सिस्टम में डाउनलोड कर सकते हो, correct? The system will be able to like fetch them all. But the main thing is, so in a minute you are actually hitting their server 70 to 80 times. Now think of a case if there are thousands of people sitting and hitting their servers. So you see कि how much उनके server पे कितना hit rate जा रहा है. So if you see the IRCTC website, IRCTC की website कब hang होती है? ये तो मेरे हिसाब से सबको पता होगा. Chat window में लिख दो. Tatkal, correct. In the Tatkal booking time, like in the 11 a.m. time, their website do hang up because of the lot of customers sitting there, correct? Because there is a huge bandwidth which is there. So if like if they allow this thing in a simple way, then their website will have a huge amount of hits from these Python scripts and all, and उनसे उनका server बैठ जाएगा. So when you will go to amazon.com to buy something, it will take you 30 minutes. So आप कहोगे कि Amazon की जगह मैं Flipkart से ले लेता हूँ, correct? And Flipkart पे जाने से actually they are losing their business. तो आप Flipkart से buy कर लोगे, Amazon के तो business lose हो गया, they lost their customer. That is why they stop you from doing this thing. Correct. When too many people work on a single interface as well. Yeah, correct. So main चीज ये होता है, that is why they block you. It is not about the data confidentiality, but it is about their service, because their service is being impacted. Varna with machine you can consume their huge amount of bandwidth. That is why they stop you. Correct. Now and so like so you use web scraping there with some additional security features जो उनके security features को bypass कर जाता है. You normally custom make them because जब भी आप किसी particular website पे अपना search करते हो, the website is able to identify कि आप कौन सा आपका IP address क्या है, आपका कौन सा browser आप use कर रहे हो, and other cookies details to get it. तो आप क्या करते हो, you to bypass the security, you represent yourself as a user using Google Chrome and all, and तब आप उसको information वहां से fetch कर सकते हो. Normally that is the time when you fetch the information from there. You represent yourself as a human being, and उसमें हम क्या करते हैं, web scraping में थोड़ा जानू अपनी speed भी कम करते हैं. Instead of scraping 60 pages in a minute, we scrap only 20 to 30 pages a minute, and that too like looks somewhat natural. And we normally also sometimes make the IP dynamic. तो हम IPs को भी अपना dynamic कर देते हैं. ठीक है, and that is you will collect your data about the Samsung Note series or the S series. ठीक है, and yeah, Samsung Note series, and वहां से फिर आप उस पे sentiment analysis करके you will provide it to the provide the feedback to the see like the that is how the companies will collect the data. फिर उसके बाद sentiment analysis करेंगे and there is a topic of topic modeling भी करते हैं. Then they do analyze कि okay are the people happy with Samsung Note series or not, and वो happy है तो किस चीज से है, that is topic modeling. And if they are not happy or not satisfied, then they are not satisfied with what thing, that is, are they not happy with the costing, or are they not happy with the service, are they not happy with the warranty period, are they not happy with the resale value. That is what the company actually do. So each and every company do their own analysis. तो हर कंपनी एनालिटिक्स करती है, हर कंपनी डेटा साइंस यूज करती है टू रीच टू अ सॉल्यूशन और टू इंक्रीज देयर रेवेन्यू और टू रिड्यूस देयर कॉस्ट एंड ऑल, टू मेक द कस्टमर हैप्पी, कस्टमर की प्रॉब्लम समझने के लिए, बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ द कंपनीज आर क्वाइट कस्टमर सेंट्रिक नाउ. उनको पता है कस्टमर खुश है, देयर सर्विस विल ग्रो. So they pay a huge attention toward the customer feedback and all. So that is, and normally कोई बंदा single बंदा बैठ के, like if you see online on the e-commerce platform, the rate of feedbacks is around 100 to 200 per day. तो उतना पढ़ना भी मुश्किल हो जाएगा manually, and that is why they use machine learning, artificial intelligence to analyze the feedback. Correct. And that is that approach will be quite fast, and फिर specifically उस customer को pitch भी कर सकते हैं. They also use a churning model. So do anyone of you know about churning? What do you mean by churning? Churning concept. Madhur, Abhishek, Aman, Vatsal, John, Rush, anyone, if you have an understanding about what do you mean by churning? Correct. Manish, correct. You are correct. Moving of customers. So actually, can anyone of you tell me what is the value of WhatsApp? Net worth of WhatsApp? Any idea? You can write in the chat window too. Or you can unmute your mic and feel free to communicate. So if I talk about WhatsApp, its worth is in billions. If I talk about, but if I talk about their asset, they don't have any asset. What is their main revenue source? So and why it is being? Yes, Shekhar.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I think it's $50 billion.
Correct. $50 billion. And main thing is why it is being worth so much.
Because there are many, like compared to the other messengers, it is one of the most popular, and maximum number of people are being using the WhatsApp, and the facilities.
Correct.
Yeah, this is the reason.
So it is actually the user base. For example, अगर मैं e-commerce की बात करूँ, most of the people use Amazon. Amazon की India की अगर मैं net worth find out करूँ, it will also be in billions altogether, 4 to 5 billion. But think of a scenario, अगर कल के कल अगर हर बंदा Amazon leave कर दे, and what will be the net worth of Amazon? It will, like, no one will be buying it also, because that is basically a UI with no customer base. Correct. So like if I talk about Maggie, like before the thing went wrong to Maggie, their customer base was quite huge. The company overall revenue was huge, and the net worth was also huge. But when there was a issue with the lead and all, uska kafi, like the overall revenue decreased, the net worth decreased, and everything. So it is always the user base which matters a lot to the company. So the e-commerce companies also do perform churning prediction, that which of their customer is going to churn, which of their customer is going to leave their service and go to the other e-commerce industry, e-commerce platform like Paytm, Amazon. They do this analysis. Okay, even the credit card or the banking industry also do this analysis. So each and every company do this analysis कि which of their customer is going to leave and how they can stop them. So basically अगर हो सकता है कि आप Paytm, like if they find out okay you are going to churn, then what they will do is they will push you some promotional offers. आपको कुछ offer देंगे कि ठीक है कि like this is the offer which you're giving you, so we are missing you, do come back and all this. So that is basically their churning model working at the back end. That is how AI is helping these companies to keep their user base healthy or to increase the number of customers they have. Correct. And normally the other companies do other analysis that which are the customers of, you can say, like Amazon might be doing this analysis that which are the customers of Paytm which they can pull out, that which whom they can pitch in something good, and those they can convert to the Amazon user base. That is how the companies do work. Yeah, same is done by the telecom companies, correct. So whenever you say to a telecom company, aap jab bhi, like you say that I'm going to leave your company, and like earlier it used to happen a lot, like you go to call the Vodafone center, okay, that I'm going to leave your company, your tariff are quite high as compared to competitor. They say, okay sir, we are doing it the same price as our competitor, but don't leave it, because actually the users are the goal for the companies, because जितने users हैं उतना उनका revenue बढ़ेगा, because humans के अलावा तो कोई use करेगा नहीं. So it is all about the user base for the companies that matter a lot, correct. And that is the main focus. So all the analytics is done to make the people happy, to make their customer happy, and to grow their business. Yeah. So now the main thing is, where does data comes from, correct. So the data comes from everywhere, it all happening online. So every click, every ad impression, every billing event you do, every fast forward, server request, transaction, network usage, fault, आज के time में, like I think even if you subscribe to a blog, they do sell your email ID to the other vendors which do pay them money. So this is like for example, आप कहीं भी login करते हो, your mobile number is sent to, आप सबके पास कॉल आता होगा भाई, आरबीएल का कार्ड लो, एसबीआई का कार्ड ले लो, पता नहीं दिन में कितने कार्ड बेचने वाले आपके पास फोन करते होंगे. So from where do they get the data? आप कहीं भी लॉग इन कर रहे हो, they use a mobile number for verification, साथ में ओटीपी साथ वेरीफाई भी कर लेते, कभी नकली तो नहीं दे दिया हो. Otherwise normally people use 9876540543210, but they do send the OTP and verify, okay, like this is the current number, and then at the back end they sell it for 5 to 6 rupees per number, and it is being sold to these credit card companies, so that like they can pitch in. So it is how the business work at the back end. So data is generated everywhere, everything you search over the net. आप कुछ भी नेट पे सर्च कर रहे हो, like you start seeing the advertisement for the same, so they are collecting your data. So nowadays the level of, you can say, data collection is so much that normally I get this, some people one of my friend told me that there was something talking something about like they were having Alexa, and they were talking something like Siri and all. So normally like Apple also, like when you say so like they were talking something about their flights and all, and जब उन्होंने नेट ऑन किया, उनको उनके रिकमेंडेशन एंड उनको एडवर्टाइजमेंट आने लग गया, like this flight is the cheaper, this flight is the cheaper. So because the data is collected every time. So for example जैसे Google Assistant है, correct, Samsung का Bixby है, और I can say Apple का Siri है. So Siri कब activate होता है? When you say hi Siri, or okay Google, when you say, the Google assistants get activated, because they get activated using a word sequence of word. But did you understand this thing? They are listening you every time. वो हर टाइम तुम्हें सुन रहे हैं. बस जब आप कहते हो कि हाँ ओके गूगल, दे गेट एक्टिवेटेड, ओके ठीक है मेरे को बुला लिया, उससे पहले वो सब सुन रहा है. The Siri is also able to hear everything what you're talking about. You talk over the phone or what you talk with your friends. So वो आपका data collect कर रहे हैं at the back end. They are collecting your user profile. That is how the companies are using the Siri or the Alexa. They are collecting your information. आप कुछ भी बात करो अपने friends के साथ, family के साथ, they are hearing it about. And then if it is they are building AI models at the back end, and they get to know okay what you're talking about, then they will start pitching in that thing. Whenever you go to Google or when you search something, तो आपको search history में वो चीज आने लग जाएगी. And these are the practicality which is happening nowadays. So your each and every information is being heard. कोई ना कोई सुनता ही रहता है. Is it clear? Any doubt? So that is why there is a huge outcry for the data privacy part. But no, normally main thing is data privacy, I think, is a myth. Not a myth, I can say, is quite impossible nowadays. Because if you want to be with data trend, like with the functionalities you want to use, data privacy would not be easy, because Google, हाँ Nokia 1100 torch के साथ was the best. Yeah. Uh, See, if you talk about data encryption, same as see, like Manish, this is a good question. Uh, See, they say data is encrypted. Like if you heard about like Zoom calls being hacked. Correct. Just a bill recently was that was like a good news, but uh, about data privacy, like the Pakistan people, like the Pakistan ambassador were having a discussion on Zoom call for. You would have also heard about like they were having a discussion over Kashmir, and some of the hackers like hacked their Zoom call and started started the what we say. You can say the Indian songs or the religious songs. Yeah, so that is how like these things are taking place. So regarding the data privacy से data encryption, ठीक है, data encryption होता है but उसका breakage भी है. So how, so like as I told you, I'm a master's in data science and cyber security. So data encryption क्या होता है? Data encryption के लिए क्या encryption की key चाहिए होती है to decrypt the complete one. So if you would have heard about Enigma, Enigma was a machine made by Germans to send their data or to send their signals in an encrypted format to their ships. Correct. And main thing is कि उसको break करना quite मुश्किल. It was not easy, but at last the Europe people like they were able to break it up. And उसके बाद सारे message decrypt होने लगे थे. So all you require is an encryption key. And that depends on how long is the encryption key. And वो अगर आपको मिल जाए then everything gets decrypted. And the main thing is sometimes the company does not focus on encryption altogether. Why they will like they just write it everything is encrypted, but सारी information मिलती है. Like there was a huge outcry now also when the Sushant Singh Rajput case was coming out, and the WhatsApp messages of all the personal assistant of these actors and the actresses were coming out. So that was also outcry at how you're able to get all the messages of WhatsApp of these people when everything is encrypted. So encryption is a myth nowadays, what I think, or you can say data privacy, because you will use Google to search something. Main thing is कि आप कुछ companies को रोक सकते हो data collect करने से, but Google ऐसी company on which we are highly dependent. They know about you everything. आप Gmail use कर रहे हो, आप Google so Gmail से आपके मेल्स पता चल रहे हैं उनको, आप उनके ड्राइव यूज करें, आपके सारे फोटोज उस पे है, ठीक है. यू आर यूजिंग गूगल पे, सो दे नो अबाउट देयर अकाउंट इन्फॉर्मेशन. करेक्ट. एंड गूगल मीट यूज करें तो आप अगर आप उनकी जो मीटिंग्स और उनकी इन्फॉर्मेशन सारी जा रही है आपके पास. आप गूगल सर्च करें तो गूगल सर्च इंजन यूज करें तो आप जो सर्च करें वो सब कुछ जा रहा है. सो दे डू हैव एवरी इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट यू. आप गूगल मैप यूज कर रहे हो तो दे नो अबाउट योर लोकेशन आल्सो, आप किधर से किधर ट्रेवल करते हैं, एंड दैट टू एट अ वेरी प्रिसाइज लेवल. उनको आपका 1-2 मीटर्स तक की एक्यूरेसी का पता है दैट वेयर यू आर सेटिंग. एंड अगर आप गूगल असिस्टेंट यूज कर रहे हो टू कॉल द पीपल एंड टू सर्च समथिंग देन दे नो. मतलब सर्च तो वैसे ऑफ कोर्स सर्च इंजन पे चला जाएगा, बट आप गूगल असिस्टेंट से आपकी वॉइस भी सुन रहे हैं. सो यू आर सराउंडेड बाय द ईयर्स. Yeah, do any one of you have any point to put on this topic, or any confusion, any doubt you have? Please feel free to ask. Okay, government can easily see, actually not that too easy, because there comes a privacy law. So if you there was a case altogether in the US that there was one people who attacked on a school or something like that. That was a terrorist altogether. उसके पास Apple का phone था, and that was locked out. So the FBI reached out the Apple company to unlock it, but they denied for the same. That depend upon the company laws or the government laws what they can do or not. But I would say nowadays the companies, the private companies such as Google, Amazon, they are more powerful than the governments altogether. Government के पास इतनी information नहीं है जितनी Google के पास है आपके बारे में. Correct. Even the Microsoft, you are using a Microsoft window, आप पूरे दिन के सामने बैठे रहते हो. So there are multiple things like there was one I don't remember regarding the data privacy, एक movie भी आई थी. And that was actually against, that was a hacker who was working for the US people, and he got you can say espionage नहीं, he got the क्या कहते हैं, मतलब उसको रशिया वालों ने उसको सपोर्ट किया था असाइलम में. Like that was a huge outfit. Like the US people are seeing everything of their citizens and all. So data security, data so every company is collecting data from you because you are the main customer for everyone. उनको पैसा आपसे ही कमाना है. So Google आपके बारे में information collect करेगा, किसी और कंपनी को sell करेगा कि okay this is your potential customer, do pitch him these things, या कंपनी Google को कहेगी कि हमारे potential customer को ये pitch कर दो, they will pitch in and they will ask money from you. So they do give it free for to you, but everything is not free. You are paying things to them. That is data. ठीक है. So data sources, so user generated, so web and mobile, so internet of things, like and by IoT also you are like when you are using Alexa, so each information is being stored in Amazon server to that. Okay, what is your voice and how you are searching, like what are the various devices you have and all. So health and science, so there is a data is being collected everywhere. That is the main thing. And data is the new oil. World Economic Forum in 2011 said this thing. Even Mukesh Ambani also said this thing. Data is the new oil. जियो ने फ्री में तुम्हें नेट दिया था, वो फ्री नहीं था, उसके पीछे तुम्हारा डेटा गया था, एंड डेटा से उन्होंने तुम्हारी कस्टमर प्रोफाइलिंग की थी. So actually you are paying them using your data. That is how I can say that thing. So data is the new oil, and because by data only, like these companies do perform the analysis and they increase their revenue. While talking about big data or data science, we get 5 V's of data. So the 5 V's of data are, the first V is the volume, okay, how much volume of data is being generated. Velocity, the velocity mean how much, what is the speed of generation of data, correct. Volume mean kitna data generate ho raha hai. Velocity matlab kitni speed se, for example if I say 1 petabyte of data is generated every hour, correct. तो वो speed, total volume मतलब 10 petabyte data है, it is a volume. Speed is, velocity is how much, what is the speed, that is 1 petabyte of data is generated every hour is the velocity. Variety मतलब what is the variety of data. For example, the data can be in the form of speech, can be in the form of text, can be in the form of images, can be in the video. There are multiple types of data. That is the variety. Veracity is the data quality. For example, you would be talking with your friends. अगर मैं data variety के बारे में बात, veracity के बारे में बात करूँ, that is the quality of data. That is actually helpful to the companies, or which is helpful to you. Correct. I would say कि, for example, if you are hearing some conversation about a user, correct, or a mail you are looking about, and the main thing is I would say that, for example, if you are a aviation company, आप फ्लाइट्स के बारे में डील करते हो. अगर कोई बंदा, like if a person is talking to someone and they are talking something like, okay, I'm leaving here and this and this and this, and in between he says, okay, I need to go from Delhi to Chennai and that too on this particular date. So you have 100 of lines of information, correct, that is data, but the quality, and if it is not specific to you, I can say the quality is down. But if that is specific to you, that is useful to you, then the data quality is quite good for you, like how the quality is. Or I can say in other terms, the quality can be, if you're having an image, then how clear it is. That is also what I can talk about, the quality. And information from decision making, that is the value. Actually उस data ने आपको कितना help किया है. For example, as I was talking about this aviation only, कोई दो बंदे बात कर रहे हैं and they say, okay, I live here and this. And at last, if he say that, okay, I'm going to board a flight from, I'm thinking to go from Delhi to Chennai on this particular date. And if you're an aviation industry, तो of course it will be quite useful. आप उसको वैसे advertisement activity pitching करना start कर दोगे कि okay, we are providing the cheapest tickets and all. So that is the value what is added by that data to the organization. Do anyone of you have any doubt in these 5 V's? Please feel free to ask. Aman, Vatsal, John, Yash, Jyoti, Manish, Nagendra, Monica, Madhur, Abhishek. Any doubt anyone of you have? Okay, thank you. If you think Vatsal is the speed, okay, or like is still the pace somewhat faster, then I can slow it some more.
No,
okay.
sir, this is good.
Is that okay? Okay, thank you, Vatsal. Okay, thank you. So if that is good, then okay. Now moving to the other. So what can do with the data. So what you can do with the data, ठीक है? So actually see for example see आप data से क्या कर सकते हो? Actually वो एक data product बनाते हैं. So do you know how Google Map work? Google Map आपका लाइव डेटा कैसे बताते हैं? How do they tell कि किधर जाम लगा हुआ है, किधर जाम है, किधर like where the roads are empty and कौन सा route आप use कर सकते हो? Can anyone of you tell me like how the live location or the live traffic details happen in Google if you heard about? If you know anyone? Satellite से नहीं जाता. How GPS how Joseph if you can explain. GPS कैसे help करते? You can unmute your mic. See, feel free to unmute your mic and talk like otherwise it looks that I'm just speaking and I'm not getting any data. Yeah. Using GPS, but how using GPS? आप हर टाइम तो अपना GPS ऑन नहीं करते. Anyone? So जो आपका actually जो live traffic feed होता है ना, जो आप Google Map पे देख रहे हो, actually it is the data provided by the users who are using Google Map at that time. Normally आप जब Google Map use करते हो, they do provide you a functionality by which they tell you the speed, what the speed is of your device. Like आप गाड़ी में जा रहे हो, then you can get to know about the speed using the Google Maps. Okay, that your speed is 40 km/h and all. So what they do is actually, for example, if you talk about the taxi, Uber, Ola and all of the people use Google Map. Okay, so and main thing is they do provide the location. So of course they're using the GPS, but main thing is कि जैसे अगर आपकी normal speed किसी रोड पे 40 km/h की जा रही है, correct? तो उसमें ये होगा कि they know that okay 40 km/h is a good speed and the road is not congested. But in a single place, अगर like if there are 20 Google Map user and if their speed is like 5 km/h, 4 km/h, then actually वो color change कर देंगे. They will show it as a congested because people are not moving at a higher speed. And if they see that okay, like if the speed is like 20 km/h or you can say 2 km/h, then that area become more red and red. So that is how they're using this data. So that is how Google Map is using your GPS data, or how they're using your GPS location to provide you this functionality. Correct. Also, they detect the number of devices. Yeah. Correct. Shekhar, Edward Snowden. There is a movie on it. Like that is quite great. Like they tell you how much amount of like privacy we have by using our data. So privacy is a myth. Moving to the next thing. So like this is how the data is being used. So Google Maps, and actually there was one thing like there was a one prank done by a person. So उसने क्या किया था? उसने जो यूएस में कैलिफोर्निया में गूगल का ऑफिस था, उसके सामने का जो रोड था, it was empty, but वहां पे उसने उसको ट्रैफिक जाम दिखा दिया on the Google Map. How he did it? He bought 40 phones there. उसने 40 फोन खरीदे, उसको एक बॉक्स में डाला and सब में Google Map ऑन कर दिया and he kept it on road. So कोई भी कुछ भी मूव नहीं हो रहा था. It was showing that there is a huge traffic out there. So that was one of the thing, a prank done by a person. Not a prank, but it was the actual one. तो उसने Google Maps के मतलब Google Maps पे वो रोड पूरा जाम दिखा रहा था, but that was completely empty. Yeah. Yeah, that was the one. So this is how like data is used. This is I would say same like machine. So like I would say data science and machine learning में थोड़ा difference है. Machine learning में you normally design new algorithms. Machine learning थोड़ा research का काम हो जाता है, publish a new paper. Whereas data science में आप existing algorithm को use करते हो. So in our course we'll be using the existing algorithms altogether. We'll be not designing a new algorithm. That is so I can say it is more of a research scientist role. I can say it is research scientist. So what research करता है? They develop new model, they prove mathematical properties, and our data scientists use these models. ठीक है? That is the main difference in data science. So how to do data science? So these are the various methods. So statistical methods are sentiment analysis, time series analytics, data mining, survival analysis, machine learning, and all forecasting. If I talk about the tools, the various tools are language with Python, R, SQL, JavaScript, Node.js. Actually, these two also have some of the libraries for machine learning. The various libraries are SciPy and Pandas. So this one is for mathematical computation. This one is data manipulation and all. So this one is used for scientific calculations. Pandas is used for data manipulation. Scikit-learn is used for machine learning and all. OpenNLP is for NLP operations. Data engineering is all about storing huge amount of data, that is Hadoop, Hive and all. Data visualization is all about how you visualize the data, just Matplotlib, Seaborn. There are multiple libraries to it. And user experience research, like these are the various method by we perform research, that is usability testing, process mapping and all. Iterative prototyping. So by use these you use experience का research आप इन चीज का use करते हो, ठीक है? And now we move to
सर इसमें हम जैसे अभी पाइथन पढ़ेंगे तो पाइथन के साथ हमें डेटा स्ट्रक्चर पढ़ने की भी नीड होती है।
हाँ, पाइथन में हम नॉर्मली डेटा स्ट्रक्चर इतना एक्सटेंसिवली नहीं पढ़ेंगे, बट हमें पाइथन में डेटा जैसे डिक्शनरी था, करेक्ट, हमें डिक्शनरीज डेटा स्ट्रक्चर पढ़ना पड़ेगा, हमें लिस्ट पढ़ना पड़ेगा, टपल्स पढ़ना पड़ेगा, ठीक है? देयर आर जैसे फंक्शंस, क्लासेस, हम वो सब कवर करेंगे। रिगार्डिंग डेटा स्ट्रक्चर मतलब हम लिंक लिस्ट वगैरह नहीं करेंगे। स्टैक क्यू उनका इतना यूज होता है, स्टैक बेसिकली लिस्ट को या मतलब स्टैक और क्यू यूज कर लेते हैं, ठीक है? बट नॉर्मली लिंक लिस्ट वगैरह का भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगा, बट डिक्शनरी, सेट, dictionary, set, list, tuple, these will be highly used.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Naman. So who are the data scientists if I talk about? So more generally, a data scientist is someone who knows how to extract meaning from and interpret data, which require both tools and methods from statistics and machine learning, as well as being human. That is, as well as you can say domain knowledge, I can say. Being human से मेरे को domain knowledge का meaning था, so it is ठीक है? Data scientists spend a lot of time in the process of collecting, cleaning and mugging data because data is never clean. आप data को जो भी आपको data मिलता है आपको उसको clean करना पड़ता है, आपको उसको transform करना पड़ता है to derive some meaning out of it, to train a machine over it. अगर आप सिंपल रो डेटा पे मशीन को ट्रेन करोगे, you will not get anything. You need to transform the data to get meaning out of it. That is how what your data scientists do and how they fetch information. So a data scientist, if I talk about the skill set, see, normally if you do a LinkedIn search, you normally what you get normally two job profiles altogether: data analyst, business analyst, or data scientist. So a data analyst is a person who use Excel and provide analysis and all, whereas a data scientist is a person who knows machine learning, who know coding उसको आती होगी या तो Python या R उसको कुछ आता होगा, who knows about machine learning, who knows about NLP, the basics and the deep learning part. It is how and basically there are web scraping, so there are multiple skill set altogether. If you read about the data scientist role, so data scientist के अंदर काफी like जो skill set they are quite मतलब they are huge amount, मतलब it depends from industry to industry your role. हो सकता है किसी में machine learning का ज्यादा use हो, किसी में NLP का ज्यादा use हो, किसी में deep learning, image video analytics and all. So those are the multiple use cases. So this brings us to the end of this slide. Do anyone of you have any question on this? After this we will, I think you have downloaded the Anaconda, so I will take you to the Spider and the Jupyter interface and मैं आपको उनका interface समझाऊंगा. But before that we will take a break. Do anyone of you have any question from this slide? Please let me know if you have any question, or if you want that I should like what we say make you re-understand a particular slide. Yeah.
Sir, basically NLP में होता क्या है?
NLP में एक्चुअली आपकी मल्टीपल चीज आती है. जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल जो चैटबॉट है, NLP में क्या होता है? सी NLP को अगर मैं लेमन में टर्म में समझाऊं, NLP इज बेसिकली मेकिंग द कंप्यूटर अंडरस्टैंड द ह्यूमन लैंग्वेज. ठीक है? जैसे आप एलेक्सा NLP की फुल फॉर्म है नेचुरल लैंग्वेज प्रोसेसिंग, कि आपकी जो ह्यूमन लैंग्वेज है उसकी प्रोसेसिंग करना यूजिंग सिस्टम. जैसे चैटबॉट इज आल्सो बिल्ड यूजिंग NLP. ठीक है? सेंटिमेंट एनालिसिस करना, कि आपने कोई फीडबैक दिया है तो मशीन बैकएंड में उसको एनालाइज करे कि आर यू हैप्पी विद द फीडबैक और नॉट, कि आर यू हैप्पी विद द सर्विस और नॉट. एंड आप दुखी हो तो किस चीज से दुखी हो? सर्विस की. That is all. So any operation with textual data, either English, Hindi, or anything, that is basically NLP. If you want to see, so if I talk about the real application of NLP, आप एक काम कर सकते हो, किसी भी कंपनी के फेसबुक पेज पे जाओ, जैसे e-commerce कंपनी, Amazon, Paytm, anything, and you comment something bad about them. कह दो कि this is the worst company, ये कंपनी, वो कंपनी, आपके 2 मिनट में आपके कमेंट को वहां से वो रिमूव कर देंगे. Correct. And that is actually not a person sitting out there, but that is how they're using NLP. वो सेंटिमेंट एनालिसिस कर लेते हैं आपके कमेंट का कि अच्छा पॉजिटिव है तो रख लेंगे, नेगेटिव है तो हटा देंगे.
ओके.
Yeah. So any okay. So that is how NLP deals with anything, any operation on text data is NLP. How you analyze text data is NLP. I don't get internet. So internet, so Manish, Internet of Things is actually so Internet of Things. First of all, नाम से समझ में आएगा. Internet of Things. मतलब आप हर चीज को इंटरनेट से कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं. Whether your refrigerator system, whether your AC, whether your car, whether your fan, whether your oven, microwave, or anything, washing machine. So Internet of Things, what the concept is all about. Actually, Internet of Things में आपकी हर डिवाइस को इंटरनेट से कनेक्ट करके and you will be able to use them using a single phone or any device. So हर चीज को वो इंटरनेट से कनेक्ट कर लेंगे. Correct. And so everything will be connected using the internet, and so that you can control from there. So yes, you do want to say something? So just to better explain, I do have a very good image for Internet of Things. I'll just show you. So see, this is what Internet of Thing is. So actually, आपकी सारी चीजें from the lamp to your TV to your oven, everything is connected to your fans, everything is connected to the internet, and they are providing you the data. Like you can control them using a single device. And उसमें जो and that is how like sensor data के बारे में आपने सोचा. So basically there are sensors. आप basically आप device को कैसे control करोगे using sensor. You would have seen about sensor आप normally वैसे भी use कर सकते हो. Basically आप जैसे if you have seen some taps जिसके नीचे आप हाथ करते हो तो वो चलते हैं. That is somewhat of a sensor based. But इसमें क्या होगा कि जो sensor आपका data आपके device पे send करेगा. That whether the sensor is working correctly or not. That is what is Internet of Things. So Manish, is it clear to you? Okay. So thank you all. So what we will do is we will just take a break. It is 4. We will get back at 4:10, and then I will just start with the UI familiarity of Spider and Jupyter. Hope you all have installed and downloaded the Anaconda one. And then I will make you go through the UI of Spider first. And if you're left with time, then we'll go with the Jupyter. Otherwise, we will do the Jupyter in the next class. So we will just go for a 10-minute break. And I would request you just do share the feedback with me. I've shared my email ID yesterday. That is gurdeeptral@gmail.com. Or like you can give me your feedback like okay, if the speed is too high, slow, and like thank you WhatsApp for like letting me know that okay, if the speed is high, then I can of course like help you out, because main thing is I'm here to make you understand the various topics and all, to help you learn. So please give me your feedback. That will be quite useful. So my email ID is gurdeepdral@gmail.com. Yeah, I'm just writing it in the chat window. So this is my email ID. Yeah. During the course, like during the sessions also, I'll be sending the study material to you using this email ID. So just do take a break of 10 minutes and we'll get back soon. So I will just write in the notepad 10-minute break session. So thank you all. Just enjoy your break. We will get back at 4:12. Thank you. Hello everyone, am I audible to you all? Okay, thank you, Yash. I hope all of you have downloaded the Anaconda. Yeah, which I like made you go through here. So do anyone of you faced any doubt in that, any problem in that during the installation? Nagendra, were you able to solve that issue? Nagendra, was that issue resolved for you? Nagendra, are you there? Okay.
सर
हाँ जी सर
ओके ओके नगेंद्र मतलब वो रिस्टार्ट
सॉरी
करने के
फॉर
बाद हो
लेट
गया
रिस्पॉन्स थोड़ा लेट नेट स्लो है
अरे कोई इशू
तो
नहीं
हो गया डाउनलोड हो
बट
गया मेरा
ओके ओके इंस्टॉल भी हो गया था ना आपका
सब कुछ हो गया मैंने सेटअप भी कर दिया
चलो ठीक है ग्रेट थैंक यू फॉर द रिस्पॉन्स हाँ या बोलिए अमन
सर इसमें जो ऐड टू पाथ का ऑप्शन होता है वो बेसिकली किस लिए होता है वो क्योंकि दोनों सेटअप में था
देखो ऐड टू पाथ का नॉर्मली होता क्यों है कई बार जैसे देखो ऐड टू पाथ एक्चुअली यूज क्यों होता है कि कई बार आप किसी पर्टिकुलर स्क्रिप्ट को जैसे सिंपल डबल क्लिक से स्टार्ट करोगे ना तो उसकी एक्सटेंशंस जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल कोई प्लॉट पीवाई फाइल है ठीक है वो आपके डेस्कटॉप पे रखी है तो जब आप उस पर डबल क्लिक करके स्टार्ट करते हो तो अगर आपका पीवाई का जो बेसिकली जो ऐड टू पाथ में क्या होता है जैसे आप एनाकोंडा को अगर ऐड टू पाथ करते हो तो डायरेक्टली उससे वो कोरिलेट कर जाता है कभी भी डबल क्लिक करोगे तो सबसे पहले सिस्टम ऐड टू पाथ में जितने भी एक्सटेंशन है जितने भी प्रोग्राम्स है उनको चेक करता है कि क्या ये पीवाई फाइल इनमें से किसी एक प्रोग्राम से स्टार्ट हो सकती है नहीं हो सकती अगर उनसे होती है तो वो उससे स्टार्ट कर देते हैं बट नॉर्मली हम उसको प्रेफर नहीं करते बिकॉज होता है कि जैसे आपने एनाकोंडा को ऐड टू पाथ कर दिया तो हो सकता है जो पाइथन की .org है सो नॉर्मली वी डोंट ऐड देम टू पाथ नॉर्मली वो हम प्रेफर नहीं करते हम क्या करते हैं कि उनको हम या तो उनके एनवायरमेंट में जाकर उनको रन कर लेते हैं दैट इज व्हाट वी डू तो ऐड टू पाथ का मतलब ये होता है कि कभी भी डबल क्लिक करोगे तो सिंपल वो फाइल डायरेक्टली आपके पाथ के फाइल से प्रोग्राम के साथ एसोसिएट होकर ओपन हो जाएगी that is normally what happen so what I will do is I will just share my screen okay welcome Avan so I'll just share my screen and वहां से I will just make you go through the spider interface so first of all like I'll give you just share my entire screen now so I will just teach you two things first of all spider को open कैसे कर सकते हो there are three ways of opening spider the one is the anaconda navigator open करो ठीक है अभी कुछ स्टार्ट मत करना यहाँ से या तो एनाकोंडा नेविगेटर पे क्लिक कर दो एक्चुअली आई एम हैविंग बोथ एनाकोंडा वर्जंस एनाकोंडा 2 भी है मेरे पास एनाकोंडा 3 भी है एनाकोंडा 2 इज बेसिकली पाइथन 2 के लिए है एनाकोंडा 3 एंड पाइथन 3 के लिए सो आई विल बी यूजिंग पाइथन 3 ऑलवेज सो एनाकोंडा 3 को मैं यूज करूंगा दैट इज व्हाई वो अलग से एनाकोंडा 3 लिखा है हुआ है सो आई एम हैविंग बोथ द एनाकोंडा वर्जन एनाकोंडा 2 एंड 3 ठीक है सो अगर आपको एनाकोंडा स्टार्ट करना है आपको स्पाइडर या जुपिटर स्टार्ट करना है यू कैन गो टू द एनाकोंडा नेविगेटर एंड वहां से आप स्टार्ट कर सकते हो बट एक्चुअली दैट इज समवट ऑफ अ टाइम कंज्यूमिंग टास्क ठीक उससे टाइम कंज्यूमिंग ज्यादा होता है सो लेट मी जस्ट क्लोज दिस वन ये मेरे पास पहले से खुला हुआ है सो कैन दैट आई कैन जस्ट शो यू ये सो या तो आप एनाकोंडा नेविगेटर से स्टार्ट कर सकते हो जो मैंने आपको बताया द अदर ऑप्शन इज आप यहाँ पे स्पाइडर लिख दो डायरेक्ट ठीक है आप यहाँ पे स्पाइडर लिख दोगे तो भी यहाँ पे डिस पे क्लिक कर दोगे तो भी आपका ये स्टार्ट हो जाएगा ठीक है दिस इज मच ऑफ अ सिंपलर वे जिससे आप स्टार्ट कर सकते हो बट कई बार क्या होता है कि इस पे डबल क्लिक करते हो तब भी वो स्टार्ट नहीं होता वो काफी टाइम लेता है द थर्ड ऑप्शन इज आप यहाँ पे एनाकोंडा नेविगेटर लिख दीजिए एनाकोंडा प्रॉम्प्ट लिखिए ये वाला सो राइट एनाकोंडा प्रॉम्प्ट ठीक है एनाकोंडा प्रॉम्प्ट बेसिकली है क्या जैसे आपका कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट नहीं होता फॉर योर विंडोज एनाकोंडा प्रॉम्प्ट इज द बैक एंड मास्टर प्रॉम्प्ट फॉर योर anaconda prompt is basically the commands prompt for your anaconda system ठीक है तो अगर आप यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे so basically ये आपका anaconda prompt खुला है command prompt नहीं खुला so the three methods are either right anaconda navigator here इसको ओपन करके वहां से स्पाइडर ओपन कर लो जो मैंने आपको कल बताया था the other one is open spider directly from here यहाँ पे क्लिक करोगे तब भी स्पाइडर ओपन हो जाएगा but the third one is the anaconda prompt option so normally आप I would say prefer this one सीधा स्पाइडर लिख के यहाँ पे क्लिक कर दो एनाकोंडा प्रॉम्प्ट वाला तब यूज करना जब यहाँ पे क्लिक करने पे भी आपका स्पाइडर स्टार्ट नहीं हो रहा। ओके, तो उस केस में आपको क्या लिखना है, एनाकोंडा प्रॉम्प्ट लिखना है। यहाँ पे क्लिक करोगे एनाकोंडा प्रॉम्प्ट में, यू विल लैंड अप ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर पेज एंड यहाँ पे आप स्पाइडर लिख देना। यहाँ पे स्पाइडर लिखोगे, सो एक्चुअली आपको जो मैंने एक्चुअली इसको टास्क बार पे पिन किया हुआ है, सो इसलिए इट विल बी लुकिंग समथिंग लाइक दिस। अगर मैं यहाँ पे स्पाइडर लिखता हूँ तो इट विल एक्चुअली स्टार्ट स्पाइडर फॉर मी। सो इफ यू सी स्पाइडर 4 मेरा स्टार्ट हो रहा है। सो दिस इज द प्लेस वेयर यू विल स्टार्ट द कोडिंग पार्ट। इससे थोड़ा स्पाइडर इजीली लोड बहुत है, ज्यादा इजीली स्टार्ट हो जाता है। ठीक है, एक्चुअली जितनी भी एग्जिस्टिंग फाइल होगी वो सारी की सारी आपकी ओपन हो जाएगी यहाँ पे। And here is the place where you will write the code. Here is the place where you will see the output. And so I will just make you go through each of the particular field one by one. Just request you just open spider. एक बार spider आप सब अपने अपने सिस्टम में start कर लीजिए। किसी को issue आ रहा है then please let me know. Yeah,
सर
okay.
सर हमने कल 2 पाइथन यूज क्यों इंस्टॉल क्यों किए थे?
सर वो
Python
पाइथन, हाँ बोलिए। हाँ जी नगेंद्र जी बोलिए।
हाँ, कल हमने 2 तरह के पाइथन इंस्टॉल किए थे, 3.90 और उसके अंदर एक और मॉड्यूल करके था। वो क्यों किया था, अलग अलग क्यों थे, क्या था?
ओके, कल हमने क्या किया था सर, हमने कल है ना पाइथन के 2 एनवायरनमेंट डाउनलोड किए थे। ठीक है, सो जैसे एक तो एनाकोंडा आपने किया था, एनाकोंडा के अंदर पाइथन 3.8 है। सो बेसिकली ये जो वर्जन्स है ना, दीज आर सिमिलर टू योर ऐप। जैसे जैसे पबजी खेलते होगे सब, तो पबजी का नया अपडेट आता है, वैसे पाइथन का अपडेट आता है। पाइथन 3.8 था, उसका थोड़ा अपडेट आया, 3.9 इंकॉर्पोरेट कर दिया। बट इट इज नॉट ऑलवेज नेसेसरी टू स्विच टू द लेटेस्ट वन। जैसे आई एम यूजिंग पाइथन 3.7, इफ यू कैन सी हियर पाइथन 3.7 में यूज कर रहा हूँ, करेक्ट। तो मोस्ट ऑफली ऑल द फंक्शनैलिटीज वर्क फाइन एवरीवेयर, तो उसका कोई इशू नहीं आता। द अदर थिंग इज कि जो कल हमने किया था सर, एक तो हमने एनाकोंडा किया था, anaconda.org से जाके हमने उसका एनाकोंडा का फाइल डाउनलोड किया था। एक्चुअली एनाकोंडा क्यों किया था, एनाकोंडा 2 प्लेटफॉर्म देता है आपको पाइथन कोडिंग के लिए। एक तो जो हमने ओपन किया हुआ है स्पाइडर, दिस इज वन ऑफ द प्लेटफॉर्म वेयर यू कैन डू कोड इन पाइथन। द अदर वन इज अ जुपिटर नोटबुक, जो मैं आपको बताऊंगा। उसके बाद जो हमने किया था दैट वाज python.org, जिससे जाके हमने वहां से भी डाउनलोड किया था पाइथन को, कर्नल को। बेसिकली वहां से जो होता है वो सिंपल कर्नल होता है, वो कुछ 30 MB का होता है, एनाकोंडा 400 MB का होता है। तो मेन थिंग इज हमने वो पाइथन के कर्नल को, python.org से आके पाइथन के कर्नल को इंस्टॉल किया था। सो बेसिकली डिफरेंट, सब पे पाइथन की कोडिंग होगी, सब पे कोडिंग का सिंटैक्स सेम रहेगा। वही सिंटैक्स आपका उस python.org के कर्नल पे चलेगा, वही सिंटैक्स यहाँ पे एनाकोंडा के स्पाइडर पे चलेगा, वही सिंटैक्स जुपिटर पे चलेगा। ठीक है, बस मेन थिंग इज दीज आर द डिफरेंट आईडीज। आईडीज मतलब डिफरेंट प्लेटफॉर्म है एक चीज के। जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाट्सएप आप अपने फोन में भी यूज कर लेते हो, आप अपने सिस्टम पे भी यूज कर लेते हो। सो दिस आर द वेरियस वर्जन्स ऑल टुगेदर। तो ये पाइथन की कोडिंग के लिए अलग अलग वर्जन्स है। फॉर एग्जांपल मैंने कार का एग्जांपल दिया था, ये मतलब उसका नहीं, तो बेसिकली स्पाइडर में आपको जो स्पाइडर एक तरीके से एनवायरनमेंट है, ये आपको मल्टीपल फंक्शनैलिटीज देता है। आप साथ साथ वेरिएबल्स दे सकते हो, आप हेल्प ले सकते हो, आप प्लॉट ग्राफ्स देख सकते हो, आप ऑनलाइन मॉड्यूल्स देख सकते हो, आप फाइल्स देख सकते हो, कौन कौन सी फाइल है, यहाँ पे आउटपुट देख सकते हो। ये सारे फंक्शनैलिटीज, आप मल्टीपल फाइल साथ में चेक कर सकते हो। ये सारी फंक्शनैलिटीज आपको ना तो python.org के जुपिटर पे python.org के कर्नल पे मिलेगी, ना आपको जुपिटर पे मिलेगी। जो जुपिटर पे मिलती है एक्चुअली इसमें आप अपने नोट्स बना सकते हो। सो उनका थोड़ा इंटरफेस अलग है, वो एनवायरनमेंट है, आपको जो सा ठीक लगे आप वो यूज कर सकते हो। सो इट इज सिमिलर टू द कार, सारी कार चलेगी तो सब एनवायरनमेंट से पाइथन चलेगा, सेम सिंटैक्स चलेगा, चाहे आप किसी भी कर लो। बट इट इज अबाउट द फील एंड द फंक्शंस व्हिच आर बीइंग प्रोवाइडेड बाय दिस एनवायरनमेंट। ठीक है नगेंद्र सर, एनी डाउट नगेंद्र?
क्यों? नहीं नहीं नहीं, थैंक
Okay,
यू।
so ठीक है, thank you, welcome. So I will just go to Spider. So I got some feedback कि Python मतलब इसमें black, okay, sorry 3.8.3, okay. नहीं, डायरेक्ट स्पाइडर ओपन करोगे तो लेट नहीं खुलेगा, वो सही टाइम पे खुलेगा। स्पाइडर का बैकग्राउंड ब्लैक है, उसको मैं बताऊंगा हाउ यू कैन चेंज इट, दैट इज व्हाई आई विल जस्ट मेक यू फैमिलियर विद द स्पाइडर इंटरफेस। ठीक है, सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल स्पाइडर में अगर आपको, वी विल गो वन बाय वन। जैसे स्पाइडर में अगर आपको कोई नई फाइल खोलनी है, सो यू विल क्लिक ऑन न्यू हेयर। सो यहाँ से आपकी सारी नई फाइल खुलती चली जाएगी। ठीक है, या आप फाइल पे जा सकते हैं, यू कैन क्लिक ऑन न्यू फाइल। ठीक है, न्यू फाइल पे क्लिक करने से आपकी नई फाइल यहाँ पे खुलेगी। यू कैन ओपन अ फाइल, एग्जिस्टिंग फाइल, ओपन लास्ट क्लोज फाइल। जैसे आपका कंट्रोल शिफ्ट गूगल क्रोम में काम करता है कि कोई पर्टिकुलर टैब आपने गलती से बंद कर दिया, आपने जो लास्ट क्लोज फाइल बंद की है वो ओपन हो जाएगी। ओपन रिसेंट में सारी रिसेंट फाइल्स है जो मैंने ओपन की हुई है। ठीक है, दीज आर द ऑप्शंस व्हिच यू कैन सी। आप किसी फाइल को सेव कर सकते हो, आप सभी फाइल्स को सेव कर सकते हो सेव एज करके। सो बेसिकली दीज आर द वेरियस फंक्शनलिटी, आप प्रिंट भी कर सकते हो। ठीक है, सो ये मल्टीपल फंक्शनैलिटीज फाइल के अंदर आपको मिलेगी। इसमें जो हाईली यूज है, मैं सिंपल बता रहा हूँ आपको, हाईली या तो न्यू फाइल का यूज होता है ओपन करने के लिए। एक्चुअली हम ये यूज नहीं करते, हम डायरेक्टरी यूज करते हैं। मतलब आप यहाँ से एक्चुअली ये क्लिक कर दोगे, आपको कौन सी फाइल ओपन करनी है वहां से वो फाइल ओपन कर लो। जैसे अगर मैं कहूँ कि मेरे को लाइक डाउनलोड्स में जाना है, या मेरे को डॉक्यूमेंट्स में जाना है, ठीक है, या डेस्कटॉप पे जाना है, मेरे को फाइल डेस्कटॉप पे है, तो मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं वहां पे जाके उसको ओपन करूंगा। जैसे पाइथन ट्रेनिंग के अंदर मेरे को न्यू फोल्डर में जाके मेरे को यहाँ से रैंडम फॉरेस्ट की फाइल देखना है, तो मैं सिंपल वहां से फाइल ओपन कर लूंगा। ठीक है, so that is a flexibility which is provided in Spider, which is not present in Jupyter, neither in the Python का idle। ठीक है, that is how it works। so आप normally यहाँ से न्यू फाइल ओपन कर सकते, न्यू फाइल बना लेते हो, क्रिएट कर सकते हो, ओपन भी कर सकते हैं, सेव एज कर लेते हो, लाइक इफ यू वांट टू सेव अ फाइल, या कंट्रोल एस करके भी सेव कर सकते हो। ठीक है, these are quite simple। the other thing is edit। edit में बेसिकली आपने कोई गलत चेंज कर दिया, you can do it undo। ठीक है, आप कंट्रोल भी करके पेस्ट कर सकते हो। कमेंट और अनकमेंट, सो व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय कमेंट और अनकमेंट? एनीवन? व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय कमेंटिंग अ कोड? कमेंट ऑफ कोड करने से क्या होगा? टू हाईलाइट नहीं, टू गिव अ
to
नेम
sir
नहीं।
to write something which is not a part of the actual code.
करेक्ट, करेक्ट मधुर। सो कमेंट करने का मतलब क्या होता है कि जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल मैं आपको एग्जांपल दिखाता हूँ। जैसे मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा प्रिंट, मैंने कहा प्रिंट हेलो वर्ल्ड। ठीक है, इस कोड को रन करने का मेथड क्या होता है? आपके यहाँ पे रन कमांड, आप इस पे क्लिक कीजिए, आप रन करोगे, आपका हेलो वर्ल्ड प्रिंट हो गया। करेक्ट, यहाँ पे आपका आउटपुट दिख गया हेलो वर्ल्ड। कमेंट का मतलब क्या होता है कि आई विल जस्ट पुट अ हैश इन फ्रंट ऑफ इट। हैश से क्या होगा? दिस इज कमेंटेड आउट। सो इफ आई रन दिस कोड अगेन, तो वो इस लाइन को रन नहीं करेगा। दिस एक्चुअली कमेंट का यूज, व्हाई वी यूज इट, जस्ट टू राइट सम डेफिनेशन ऑफ अ फंक्शन। कोई पीस ऑफ कोड लिखा हुआ है उसके बारे में, इफ यू वांट टू राइट समथिंग सो दैट यू कैन यूज इट further, or if you want to sharing, if you are sharing your code with someone so that they can understand about it. So using, by commenting a code, actually that part of line, that piece of line is not being read as a programmable line by your compiler। ठीक है, or you can say by your kernel। that is how it happens। so ये आप जैसे इसमें python में comment करने का, so if I just go here edit, if I see comment and uncomment, so the shortcut is control 1। ठीक है, if I want to make it comment करना है, uncomment करना है, control1 दबा दो, comment करना है तो control1 दबा दो। this is how it work। then you can write add block comment। so basically block of comment लिख सकते हो, indentation, tab, shift tab। so it is similar to your tab करते जाओगे तो आगे जाएगा, because see Python is completely indent based। ठीक है, इसमें आप सी, so in this you will not get C++ like curly braces, you will not get curly braces। C++ में आपने कोड क्या होता है, you it start with a curly brace, end with a curly brace। नहीं, Python में ऐसे वर्क नहीं होता, Python work on the indentation part। so if you press tab, so we will just you will be familiar with this, don't worry about this कि अच्छा मतलब समझ में नहीं आ रहा, कोई हो सकता है एक पॉइंट समझ में ना आए, अभी तो दुनिया भर की क्लासेस है, you will write huge code, तो आपको सब समझ में आएगा। एंड विद शिफ्ट टैब वो वापस हो जाएगा। ठीक है, सर्च से आप सर्च कर सकते हो, रिप्लेस कर सकते हो, इट इज नॉट दैट टू यूज्ड। सोर्स में लाइक जैसे अगर जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल मैं कोड दिखाता हूँ आप, से मेरे कोड है। ठीक है, ठीक है, सो इससे क्या होगा, सोर्स से क्या होता है, शो ब्लैंक स्पेसेस। जैसे यहाँ पे जिधर भी एम ब्लैंक होगा ना, जैसे अगर मैं कहूँ यहाँ पे है तो ब्लैंक स्पेसेस आपका डॉट 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 करके आ जाएगा। ठीक है, which I have not selected, so मैं blank spaces ऐसे show नहीं करता, उसमें क्या होगा, सिर्फ simple white space दिखेगा. If I talk about the another one, show scroll past the and show indent guideline guides. हाँ मतलब indentation की आपको guides मिल जाएगी, ठीक है, कि लाल लाइन आ जाती है जब आप indentation करोगे, तो like you can select this, मतलब simply show code folding. Code folding का मतलब क्या होता है, जैसे आपका कोई for loop है, जैसे कोड फोल्डिंग ऑपरेशन ही है, आपने इस कमेंट को कोड फोल्ड कर दिया, ठीक है, इट इज यूज स्पेशली फॉर व्हाइल डूइंग द लूप्स एंड ऑल, तो लूप्स में आपको पूरा उसको फोल्ड कर सकते हो. जैसे मेरे यहाँ पे इसमें, हाँ इसमें लूप है, सो जैसे ये लूप है, तो यू कैन जस्ट फोल्ड दिस पीस ऑफ कोड एंड इसको वापस देख सकते हो. सो दीज आर बेसिकली हेल्पिंग यू इन द यूआई पार्ट एंड लाइक थोड़ा बेटर कर देता है आपके लिए. शो सिलेक्टर फॉर क्लास एंड फंक्शन, जैसे इस पूरे कोड में कोई क्लास होगी या फंक्शन होगा, तो मेरे को यहाँ से मैं चेक कर सकता हूँ, बेसिकली ये फंक्शन दिखा देगा, ये मेरे को क्लास दिखा देगा. दैट इज हाउ इट वर्क, ठीक है. अंडरलाइंग एरर एंड वार्निंग, तो कोई अगर उसको एरर या वार्निंग लगेगा, फॉर एग्जांपल अगर मैं प्रिंट में आई हटा दूंगा, करेक्ट, सो इट विल शो मी एरर कि यहाँ पे अनडिफाइंड नेम PRNT हो गया, ठीक है, बेसिकली इट इज रीडिंग एज अ वेरिएबल, सो दीज दे कैन शो यू, ठीक है. So this is quite useful, मतलब आप यहाँ पे जो आपको ठीक लगे, you can just show warning error list, आप ऐसे आपको ऐसे warning दिखा देगा, imported button use, so you can use those previous warning, ठीक है. last edit location पे आपको लेके चला जाएगा, previous cursor position, so this actually it helps you out. जब आप कोडिंग करोगे तो आपको उनका यूज केस पता लगने लग जाएगा कि इंडेंटेशन बेस क्या होता है, फंक्शन एंड ऑल, so you can just go with these initial settings जो like मैंने किया हुआ है, that is second, third, fourth, fifth and the last one, so that is enough for you with the beginning one. अगर आपको लगे going forward कि कोई particular functionality is not helpful to you, you can just untick that, and if you want some other more functionalities, then you can take that one, correct. Do any one of you have any doubt till now? Okay, so to run, now we will moving to the how to run a code. For example, आपको कोई कोड को रन करना है, ठीक है, जैसे मैंने आपको यहाँ पे बताया था, ये Ctrl+C करता हूँ, मेरा प्रिंट किधर गया, या दिस वन इज माय प्रिंट कमांड, ठीक है. ओके सॉरी, सो दिस इज द हेलो वर्ल्ड, ठीक है. इसको मैं एक बार 3-4 बार लिख लेता हूँ, सो दैट इज क्वाइट यूजफुल. ठीक है, सो दिस इज द फंक्शनलिटी. आपको अगर इसको रन करना है, सो दिस इज द वन. अगर आपको पूरा रन करना है, या तो आप F5 दबा दीजिए और आइदर रन ऑन, क्लिक ऑन दिस, सो इससे क्या होगा, पूरा का पूरा रन हो गया. और यू कैन सिंपली गो लाइक क्लिक हियर एंड प्रेस द F5 बटन. F5 दबाओगे तो इससे रन हो जाएगा. कईयों के में अगर रन नहीं हो रहा F5 दबाने से, देन डू प्रेस द FN फंक्शन की. आपका बॉटम लेफ्ट कॉर्नर में ऑफ द कीबोर्ड के बॉटम लेफ्ट में कोई सेकंड की के वहां पे F1 लिखा होगा, उसको साथ में दबा के फिर F5 दबाना, कईयों का तब रन होगा. दैट इज बेसिकली द फंक्शन की, ठीक है. इफ यू आर नॉट एबल टू रन एनी कोड, तो यू कैन जस्ट राइट दिस वन. मैं तुम्हें एक बार इसको पिंग कर देता हूँ मैसेज में, ठीक है, एंड देन यू कैन जस्ट चेक इट आउट, ठीक है. तो यू कैन जस्ट सिंपली पेस्ट दिस वन, आपका प्रिंट करेगा हेलो वर्ल्ड को. एंड यहाँ पे अगर आपको सिंपली एक एक लाइन करके, बेसिकली आपको एक सेल को रन करना है, ठीक है. सो इट विल बी कंट्रोल एंड रिटर्न बेसिकली, या आप कंट्रोल, सो इसको आप चेंज भी कर सकते हो. बेसिकली सिलेक्टिंग दिस, रन पे जाओ, खाली इसको करो रन सेल, तो जितने सिलेक्टेड सेल होते हैं, ओके. अगर आपको सिंपल इतने करने हैं, देन इट इज द F9. आप सिंपल F9 दबा के सिंपल जितने सिलेक्टेड सेल, देयर आर टू थिंग, या तो F5 दबा के सब कुछ रन कर लो, ठीक है, जस्ट कीप इट सिंपल. F5 दबा के पूरा रन हो जाएगा. सिलेक्टेड सेल को रन करना है तो F9 दबा दो, करेक्ट. या आप कंट्रोल एंटर में भी बेसिकली आपको चेंजेस करने पड़ेंगे कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में. कंट्रोल एंटर से पूरा भी रन हो जाएगा. अगर आपको सिंगल सिलेक्टेड सेल चलाना है, रन करना है, एंड प्रेस F9. दैट इज हाउ इट वर्क. तो आपकी रन कमांड यहाँ से चलेगी. रन सिलेक्टेड और करंट सेल तो F9 होगा, रीरन लास्ट स्क्रिप्ट F6 होगा. फॉर दोज पीपल मैं सिंपल एक डायरेक्ट पे आता हूँ, उसको बाकी को मैं आई विल कवर इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास. मैं सिंपल एक व्यू पे आऊंगा. टिल दैट टाइम यू कैन जस्ट मेक सम सेटिंग्स आउट ऑफ देयर. तो या यू कैन क्लिक हेयर, यहाँ पे इफ यू कैन जस्ट गेट दिस प्रेफरेंसेस पे कंट्रोल ऑल्ट शिफ्ट पी पे आप क्लिक कीजिए. इस पे क्लिक करोगे ना तो एक्चुअली यू गेट सम प्रेफरेंसेस. प्रेफरेंसेस मतलब यू कैन चेंज द यूआई ऑफ इट. तो यहाँ पे जाना तुम अपीयरेंस पे. सो आई गोट अ फीडबैक, आई गोट अ इनपुट की आई एम हैविंग अ ब्लैक स्क्रीन. ठीक है, आप वहां पे जाना एंड कम हेयर, यहाँ पे आ जाओ सिंटेक्स हाइलाइट थीम. अगर आप इसमें यहाँ पे स्पाइडर डार्क करोगे तो आपकी डार्क स्क्रीन आ जाएगी. बाय डिफॉल्ट आपकी स्पाइडर डार्क होगी. देन यू कैन एंड चूज एनी अदर थीम, यू कैन चूज आइडल. सो उसमें यू विल गेट दिस सिंटेक्स. सो यू विल यूज एमनेक्स, तो ऐसा आएगा. इंक पोर्ट से ऐसा आएगा. इसमें आपका नोटपैड भी होगा आई थिंक द थीम. और स्पाइडर की बाय डिफॉल्ट थीम ये है. ठीक है, सो विच एवर यू वांट यू कैन यूज दोस. मेरे को आइडियली थोड़ा ठीक लगता है, दैट इज व्हाई आई एम यूजिंग दिस. एंड आप सिंपली यहाँ पे अप्लाई कर दीजिए. एंड उससे क्या होगा, बेसिकली मेरी वही सेटिंग्स थी तो ओके हो जाएगा. एंड बेसिकली आपने वो यूआई यूज किया है. ठीक है, सो आपका वापस the black color will be removed. If you want to go with the black color, again click here, go to appearances again, and यहाँ से आप उसको स्पाइडर डार्क कर दीजिए. करते ही वो ब्लैक आ जाएगा. And if you don't want to do, then close it. Do anyone of you have any doubt? Please, you can unmute your mic and let me know, or you can write in the chat window. This is what we have covered today. It is 4:35, so we will cover in the next class the rest of the things. So we will cover each and everything, focusing on the quality. That everything is you get each and everything, and you are able to understand the things, not running with the stuff. So the rest of the things I will cover in the next class. Thank you all. Take care. Be healthy. Be safe. And have a happy weekdays going forward. Thank you all. And yeah, thank you. Thank you, Shekhar. Thank you, Yash. Bye. Take care all. Happy evening too. Thank you, Manish. Thank you, Yash. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, John. Thank you, Shekhar. Bye.